What's going on, guys? Alright, so today I'm going to wrap the hood on this Lexus RC 300 in my color, the Midnight Sun. So I didn't do any installation videos on this color, so I'm going to do some installation videos on this particular car with my new color, which is currently out of stock. So I'm not sure when there will be more in, but I think in the next couple of weeks there should be more. Anyways, guys, if you want to get some of the tools and stuff like that, I'm going to post a link in the description below. So all the tools you need to do a wrap job yourself will be there for the most part, other than the vinyl itself. Like I said, I don't have any in stock right now, so there isn't any on Amazon either, but everything that's in the description below is all on Amazon. Anyways, let's get to it. So I'm going to start off by prepping the surface. Alright, I've already actually prepped the surface, but I'm going to do it again. What we want to do, for those of you who are new and haven't seen a hood wrap video yet, we're going to mist the hood down with isopropyl alcohol. We're using 70% not diluted isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to make sure that we're stripping all of the wax and the grease and oil from the road off of the vehicle. Now when we're washing the car in the beginning, we're going to actually do a very thorough job of washing the car and get most of that off, but again, it's always great to go over the panel before we wrap the panel. So this car was previously wrapped. It was wrapped for about 3 months in rose gold chrome. Picked it up, saw my color, and really wanted it, so here we are wrapping it in my new color 3 months later. Alright, so now that we've gone over the entire surface, the isopropyl alcohol itself will evaporate and dry out. Once we've done that, we're going to go underneath the hood. What we want to do is we want to get underneath all the edges. So I'm going to mist the cloth, the microfiber cloth that I have, and we're going to go under slightly. If it's particularly really dirty underneath the edge, you're going to want to go over it a few times with a clean side of the rag. So keep flipping your rag over so that it keeps it maintains a clean surface. That way we're not wiping dirt over dirt. So pretty straightforward, right? So as far as this goes now, this hood is ready to be wrapped. What I normally like to do is I like to use a compressor to blow away any contaminants. I know there's nothing on the hood right now, so I don't need to do that. On top of that, I like to have my piece already cut. So we have a piece right over here that's about 65 inches wide. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to bring it over to the hood. If you're doing this alone, this is pretty much how you're going to do it. And we're going to just drape the vinyl over top. Now what we want to do is we want to line it up, alright? What I like to do is I like to come about 1 inch past, 1.5 inches past the top corners. Perfect. So then I know it's straight. It's very much straight. We have not a lot of excess film in the front here, so I'm going to leave it. We're not going to trim it off. I like to leave the position of the film much more square. It makes things a lot easier when you're pulling, more symmetrical, and even tension when you're pulling on the film. Now, this particular film has a protective layer on top. The protective layer does not stretch, so we're going to remove the protective layer. So, one end to the other, I'm going to remove the protective layer. So we're going to get rid of this. It's going to feel like a stiff plastic. So this does not stretch at all, okay? That's why I want to take it off. Now, we're going to pull off the backing paper at this point. Now, depending on the temperature of your environment, this can be more difficult or easier depending on how warm the surface is. If the surface is really hot, you're going to have a bit more of an issue with it grabbing. It's not too hot right now. It's going to be really hot today, but right now this morning it's really not bad. This is a heat activated adhesive. I like it. I like heat activated adhesive because as soon as it's cooler, it actually installs really easily. Alright, there we go. So you can see that I'm keeping the surface of the vinyl flat. We want to keep everything flat so that we maintain no wrinkles and no blemishing in the actual wrap itself while we're removing the backing paper, all right? If we get a crease in the backing paper in the middle of the hood, it's going to be hard to reach in there and heat that out. You can heat it out, but again, it's going to be very difficult, especially doing that on your own. So we want to take the extra time in the beginning here to make sure that we're not creasing the film when we're pulling off the backing paper. So I'm just going to fold this up really quick, get it out of my way. So you notice how I put a magnet down on the other side. That's very important when it comes to repositioning the film, or even just pulling off the backing paper. We always want to stick a magnet down just in case we lift the film off the surface or pull a little bit too hard. The magnet's like our last resort in holding the film onto the surface. Cool, so I have one magnet here. I'm going to put one a little bit lower also right here. Now I want to flatten this out a bit, right? So this, obviously, we don't want to squeegee this. If I try to squeegee this right now, it's going to be a disaster. So do not try to squeegee your vinyl. Look when it looks like this. So this vinyl is a little bit thicker than most, simply because we have a ton of depth to the film. So I'm going to actually just show you up close the amount of flake that's gone into this. It's a super, super deep film. So in order to get the depth to the film, we have to create thickness, create layers basically. If we have a film with less flake, we can make it thinner. I wanted more flake, it's going to be thicker. So let's do this. So this is pretty much the same as any other hood wrap video I've done. The repositioning is pretty easy. We want to expand the wrinkles, okay? See how I'm looking at the center here? It's very flat. We want to keep it like that. So we want to expand the vinyl. So for how thick this vinyl is, it actually stretches very well. It's probably like 4 times the thickness of Avery SW900, almost anything. Let's say satin black. It's got to be at least 4 times the thickness. So it's a thick film, don't get me wrong, but it does stretch very well. Same deal, we're going to work it back to the other side and pull out. Okay, I'm pulling pretty hard. Okay, I'm not killing myself, but I'm pulling pretty hard. All right, so now we're going to move over here. So I'm going to glass that out right there. Glassing it out means smoothing it out completely. What I'm going to do now, same deal over here. So you can see when I pull it up, I'm pulling it now up with my right hand here, and that's spreading out these wrinkles. Oh, see, it released. If I put a magnet down, that wouldn't have happened. This film is actually not very sticky at all, which is amazing because it makes it a lot easier to work with. All right. So, what I've done here is I've created a cross section right here, smooth in the middle, smooth all the way over here, so like a T almost. We're going to have to work this out this way and this out to this corner over here. Can I do this all without any heat? Probably. So I'm going to pull right now these two sides against each other. That's what I want to do. So don't even worry about what's happening right here. We want the tension to be pulling across here. So I'm just going to lean into it a bit. I'm just going to stick that down there so it doesn't lift. And we're going to go over here. So now this is happening. See how I'm creating these wrinkles running this way? If I pull this way, that wrinkle will go away. It released over here, so that's not going to work, unfortunately. So we're going to have to probably use a bit of heat because of how much this hood comes down here. If this hood had been a little bit more out, this wouldn't have been as bunched up. So I'm going to grab one more product here, and it's the Shield Guard, just to make my buffer on my squeegee glide a little bit easier. The buffer is the blue thing on my squeegee, and this is a polymer solution, so it actually makes squeegeeing amazing. So what this will do is it'll actually prevent scratches from happening. As long as your surface is dust free and you have a fresh buffer, you're going to get very little scratches, if any at all. All right, you can see how I'm squeegeing here. So you can see that we're getting trapped with a bit of air here. Just put this down. What I need to do with this bubble right here is release it. So I have a GoPro, and I was going to do some great point of view videos. It's actually it's not a GoPro, it's a generic action camera, and I lost the case for it, so I can't actually use like the head and chest strap for it. So that area is all finished over there. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go out and like get a case for it or just get a new one. I'll just buy a GoPro, a real one this time. So the air shouldn't be getting caught. It'll squeeze you out. Again, we're getting an air bubble here. Edges is kind of sealed up. We're just gonna lift it up slightly, okay? There we go. Perfect. Again, more air getting caught here. Just gonna pop it up a little bit, because we don't want to squeeze you over wrinkles, but we don't want to squeeze you over massive bubbles like that either, okay? And I'll just hold the vinyl up to make my life easier as we get to the end. So let's sort out what's happening here. So again, like I said before, we have to pull in opposite directions. We want these to be pulling against each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of heat. And you're going to see what's going to happen here. Just need some extension cord here. There we go. All right. So I want to do this over a larger area. I don't need a lot of heat, just a bit. Take your time when you're heating. I have my heat gun on the hottest setting. But I'm moving it nice and slowly to give the vinyl a chance to warm. Alright, so let's grab here in the middle, and now we're just going to spread everything out. Okay, see? So, much better. I can start locking this in right here. Cool. We'll fix all that in a second as soon as we start pulling back again this way. So again, I'm going to lift it right off the front. You're going to see all that's going to go away. There we go. Same deal. So I have tension on the film, of course, you have to. So at least I know how soft it's getting. I can feel it. Alright, let's do it. Spread it out. So now, look at these wrinkles. They're coming across each other. And I'll explain that better in a second as soon as I get some of this down. as I pull down here, see how it's flattening out? That's exactly what you want right here. So watch. As soon as I take the heat gun, I'll zoom in a bit for you. So you should be able to kind of see what's happening around here. So as soon as I lift this and I take the heat gun and I shrink it all down. Perfect. So it's all just shrinking itself down. Right? Remember, when we add heat, we're gonna activate the adhesive. So towards the edges, if we are adding heat, it's gonna start to grab a little bit more. But no big deal. We're close to the edge, right? So now that we're here, I'm gonna trim off some excess film. We got tons here. Don't need all that. I'm gonna pull this way. So I'm gonna shrink again over here. What I changed from before. Perfect. There we go. All right, let's spread it out now. Let's keep it flat. So if we're shrinking the vinyl, what we want to do is we have to keep the vinyl flat. Because if you shrink it, it can wrinkle back up together, but so you just want to keep it flat. So look at these lines right here. These are perfect because we want these running straight across. So I'm going to pull down, and again, hit it with a bit of heat, and again, it's just going to shrink. We want to shrink wrap the car. All right, trim off excess here. Flatten it out. Put my hand over top just to keep it spread apart. And we're good. Super gentle. So we can actually see that the vinyl is curling itself underneath this edge right here. That's what you want. So let's go ahead and get all the air out first. If you have an air bubble, you can usually just put your finger down on it, give it some time to release, and it goes away. Perfect. All right, let's do over here now. So let's fix up this right here. Because we stretched it, we want to shrink it back, all right? There we go. So I'm not adding a lot of tension to the film, just a slight bit of tension. So now what I want to do is get rid of these without using my finger. It's a little bit easier. And I want to try to lay in to this recess mostly, because that's just how I do it. It's my own preference. I always find it better to lay into the recess than to stretch into a recess. Durability purposes, you're going to have a longer lasting wrap. So we're getting some wrinkles here. We're going to heat them and get them out. I'm not going to pull very hard. Remember, we don't pull hard. We just keep a bit of tension on it. And poof, they vanish. Alright, so I'm going to squeegee this while it's smooth. And then we're going to lift it up and continue to lay the vinyl in. So I got a wrinkle and I'm going to have to heat it to get it out. I got two actually, one there and one here. Let's try and get you guys in. So you just want to spread it apart, okay? And you can see when we spread it apart how it just smooths out. So I don't want to stretch into there. I'm just going to let the vinyl lay in, Finish this up. There we go. You can see that I'm not pulling hard. Very gentle. Now let's go do the other side, and we're going to finish this up with trimming right afterwards. So let's see if I can actually get you a better angle here. There. So this side turned out a little bit better just naturally on its own. You can see that it's actually pulling itself into this recess right now. So all I'm going to do is lift the vinyl up so I can lay into this recess. There. So we can't squeegee over that. Make sure we don't do that. We want to come from the top and get that down like that, okay? Oh, I got one wrinkle there. We're going to have to go in there and fix it. No big deal. So I'm going to pull it back slightly, watch. Right there. Then heat it. Okay, right here. And it's gone. So now the vinyl's actually, I'm not even pulling on it, it's actually balanced itself back out. It's very smooth, and as long as we squeegee it nicely, it should go into this recess very consistently and very evenly without causing more wrinkles. So for here, watch, I'm gonna pull down a little bit here. Look, there we go. And that will go away. Let's fix all this over here. There we go. Alright. So I don't want to trap myself, so let's gradually work those wrinkles. So you see how I kind of come around? If I don't do that in that way, I'm going to trap myself with a lot of excess film. This hood is fully wrapped right now. Now our next step is going to be going over all the edges using a glove and the heat gun. So nothing is moving on the edges, okay? That is the goal. If we have movement on the edges, that means we've overstretched near the edge, and we don't want that. So I'm going to move the camera back. There we go. And just bring it up a bit. So again, no movement on the edges, right? Now what I like to do is lift up the hood. So I just wanted to go over that a little bit. I'm going to trim out the back section over here first, right? Because if we lift it and it's stuck to the window, we're going to cause it to possibly tear or come off the car. So you just want to get rid of that piece mainly. Leave yourself about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then you should be good. Now I'm going to lift up the vinyl off of the edges so I can lift the hood up. There we go. So I'm going to go grab my little hook tool just so I can latch the hood. How much time are we at there? 24 minutes. Might get it all in a 30-minute video. Cool. So just got to find a good spot for it. There we go. Okay. So now this makes life easier. If I can show you guys everything. So I'm going to try and get this in a 30-minute video. So I'm going to go over all of this, gently run my finger evenly all the way across. This is going to give me a nice even cut. Back to the other side. Corners I've shown you guys how to do many times. Once I get the GoPro working, you guys are going to see all these up close and in person. Good. Just going to make sure I'm around this corner here. Perfect. Now I'm going to trim. Now I use my back side of my blade on the back side of the panel. Finish this off, and then we're going to go over it with heat, and then we're done. When you're cutting around corners, we're always cutting around corners. We're never cutting them like boxes. We're going to cut them like circles, or generally in whatever shape they are. So right here I have a lot of extra slack. I know I saw this earlier when I was here. There we go, get rid of that. Done. Go over the whole thing with heat, and that's it. So now I'm actually going to lift it all the way up. Basically, we're going to seal it all down, seal up those edges. Show you this when I'm done. That's it, I just finished. So you guys didn't miss anything. So I'm going to show you all these edges in the corners, and we're going to go over it so we can have a look at how straight the cut is all the way through. Right? Let's look down here. Straight, I don't know if you guys can even see it. It's very straight all the the way through. You see it? Right. Corner's looking nice right there. Let's bring it down here. Let's actually close the hood so you can see the corners. Right. I'm not trying to hide anything here. I'm trying to show you everything about it. So it's a little bit streaky because we used the shield guard. I have to wipe that off. But again, that's it, guys. So right there is your Lexus RC300 hood wrap in the midnight sun. I'll do some other more complicated panels. I know when I did this car in chrome, I didn't do any videos on it really. I was kind of rushed, so not rushed, but like I didn't have a lot of time. So we'll do some more videos on this one. I know you guys want to see the front bumper and probably the rear bumper, so I'll do videos on that. Otherwise, that's it, guys. If you like the video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see some more videos, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget about the parts disassembly channel. I have videos to add to that as well. So for those of you who are looking to take apart your car, hopefully it's insightful and helpful to you. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Take care.